Hi, I'm Pete, and this is a tutorial on the Diane Pentahedron puzzle. Now, these puzzles were released quite a while ago, back in 2012, and there were a very large number of configurations of these puzzles. This is a classic 3-layer version. They also had a 5-layer version with these very narrow extra layers on top of the 3-layer. And Diane had just a huge number of circle versions or crazy versions. These are all 0 faces on this one, but they have a whole set of planets where there are different configurations of 0 and 1 faces on them. It's quite a lot of puzzling, and they still have some. I just looked on the HK Now store. You can still get them, and they're not particularly hard to solve once you know how, but figuring them out can be a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to show you my method for solving these, and I'm going to show you on the 3-layer. You can apply that directly to the 5-layer by just solving the inner 3 layers exactly how I show you, and then pretending that the solved 3 layers is the middle layer, and you can go back and solve the outer 2 extra layers. The circle puzzles are a little different, or the crazy versions are just a little different, but certainly knowing how to solve the basic pentahedron will get you a long way anyway. So one of the things to know about the pentahedron is the top and the bottom layers turn in 1/3 increments, and the sides only turn in 180-degree increments. Okay, you can't turn the sides 90 degrees. So this actually makes them act very much like cuboids, say a 3x3x4 cuboid, or a 2x3x3x2 cuboid, something like that. And in fact, that's really the method I use to solve these, almost identical to my cuboid method. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to scramble this up and show you how it's done. Now, as I'm scrambling here, one of the things I'll point out is that this particular one has a center. For the other ones, you have to turn the top layer and look underneath to see where the top and the bottom, which color each layer is. But the center doesn't have any orientation, so it's very similar to some of the cuboid puzzles. Okay, I'm not doing a particularly good job of scrambling this thing. It is kind of challenging to scramble these. There's so relatively few pieces and moves. All right, well let's see. Can we call that scramble solved? All right. All right, one more. There we go. All right, one more turn. So there we have a nice scrambled pentahedron puzzle. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, the centers here don't move. They're fixed. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to solve the middle layer. I'm going to put the edges in on the middle layer. So, for example, this orange and white, that goes here. But if I just turn it this way, it's going to be upside down. So I'm going to turn it the long way around, and you'll see that synced right up. Now the next one here is going to be, this is white and blue, and again, there's my white, there's my blue. This edge is upside down. So what I'll do, in order not to knock out the one I already have, I'm going to flip this side upside down to receive this piece. I'm going to turn this in, and now I can turn it back, and I think that this is gonna fix this up. Yep, there you go. Okay, so usually you don't have too much work to do to solve the middle layer, and it's just a matter of you solve one edge, and then you protect that edge. If you have to move something past it, you can flip the one of the faces upside down. So now that we have this solved, The next thing I'll do is I'll solve the bottom layer, and you can call it whichever layer you want the bottom. I'm going to use the purple. So what I'm going to do on the bottom layer is I'm going to solve these edges, the middle edges on the bottom layer first. And that's just, we're going to use the top layer to just cycle the edges into place, and I don't care about the corners. I'm ignoring the corners completely. So for example, here I need a white and a purple, so I'm going to find the white and the purple. There it is. So I'm going to move it out of the way, turn up the position, turn up the position where it belongs, turn it in, and then turn it back down. So now this one's solved. And I'm just going to do the same thing over here. So I need a blue and a purple, and there's my blue and purple, and it's not in our way, so I'll just turn the position up, turn the piece on, and bring it back down. And last but not least, we need an orange and purple, and it happens to be there, so I'm going to turn that out of the way, bring this up, turn the piece on, and bring it back down. Now if you recognize this from a cuboid solution, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's the way I solve a cuboid as well. So now we have the edges on the bottom layer done, and now if the edges aren't right, oh, this one is, we got lucky here. The edges were right. So what we sometimes have to do if the edges are wrong, we have to flip one of the edges up, and then use this slot to move the top edges around, and it doesn't take very long at all to get those in place. Okay. So now my last step is to solve the corners, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an algorithm from cuboid to swap to 3 cycle corners, and I'm just going to use one algorithm which cycles corners from here to here to here. Now we don't need this one solved, it's already solved, so I'm going to look around here and see if I have one. Well, these are both yellow, so they both belong on top. This is orange and blue, so this corner actually belongs here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this here, and I want to make sure that this corner isn't solved. It isn't. So this corner, yellow, blue, orange, belongs there. Okay. So the algorithm I'm going to do is going to cycle that one there. It's going to move this one over here, which just happens to be the right spot for it, and then it'll move this one over here, which I think is also the right spot for it. So the algorithm I'm going to use is just a modification of a cuboid corner swap algorithm. Okay, and it'll just cycle those pieces. So I'm going to use D prime, which is a counterclockwise turn of the D layer. Okay, now I'm going to do a series of turns which will swap these two, and it's right out of the cuboid series. Now I'm going to call it R when I do an R turn, but it's actually a 180 degree turn. So I'm going to go R, U, R, U prime, R. Okay, and that swapped those two pieces. Now I'm going to undo the D turn, so I'm going to do a D, which is a clockwise turn of the D face, and I'm going to do the exact same algorithm, which will swap those, and it'll also fix, you notice our edges got, this face got flipped, so we're going to fix that as well. Okay, so it's going to be R, U, R, U prime, R. Okay, so we fixed that corner, and then we also made that correct. Now remember that our D is actually moved one step out of position, so we got to keep that in mind. So it's actually doing pretty well. Now I have a perfect situation. I have 3 pieces right here, and hopefully the 3 pieces will form a 3 cycle with just a turn of the D layer somehow. So this, the piece I need there is yellow, blue, and white. So there's yellow, blue, and white. So that piece will go up there. This piece will go over to here, which is blue, white, purple. Indeed, that's what we need. And then presumably this piece will go here, and it'll be correct. So I'm going to do exactly the same algorithm I just did, and it's just the 2 corner swaps with D moves in between to move the two different corners. Alright, so we start with a D prime, R, U, R, U prime, R. So that was our first set. Now we'll undo that D. So there's D, R, U, R, U prime, R. And that's fixed the corner. It's fixed those two corners, and all I have to do is put the D layer back, and the pentahedron is solved. Okay, well that solve went pretty quick, so here's another solve for you. So we'll start with the middle layer, and I have a blue, my blue white is right here, but if I just turn it, it'll be upside down, so I'm going to use the long way around. Okay, oops. Alright, lost my my way there, so now that edge is correct, and it's just a matter of getting these ones. So this one is also upside down. It actually needs to go right there. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to wreck this this one that's already in place, so I'll flip this face here, and then I will turn this one onto that, and then back, and that should now it's lined up properly, and when I flip it one more time, it's in place, and then that just sort of miraculously fixes the whole thing. Okay, so the strategy is to put one in place and then figure out how to solve the second one, and by just the way the puzzle works, it'll solve all three doing that. So my next step then is to solve the edges on the bottom layer. I consider the purple to be bottom, doesn't really matter. So let's see, this one's already correct. So what I'll do, I'm just gonna, sorry, it's not correct. This one, this one belongs down on the bottom layer. So I'm just gonna put this in place. This saved me one swap. So now I have to get purple and blue. There's purple and blue, so I'll just turn this up, turn the piece in and turn it back. And this one's orange and purple. There's orange and purple, so I'm going to turn this out of the way. I'm going to turn this up, and I'm going to turn it back. Okay, so now I have my bottom layer done, and I get to see what happened to the top layer. Okay, so the top layer just worked itself out as it should. Now I'm left with the corners, and I'm going to cycle these corners. Now I happen to have purple, the yellow corners here, so that should be fine. It looks like I only have two out of place. We'll see. What can happen, you may end up with one on the purple layer, in which case, because of the algorithm I've showed you, you would just turn it over if that happened and you needed to, and just do the algorithm. You can do a bunch of variations on that one algorithm I showed you, but really you only need the one ever. So what do we need here? This is the one I really want to put in is here, I think, because you want to make sure the one behind, like immediately behind the one you're moving, is also wrong. Otherwise you'll wreck a good piece. So this is yellow, blue, white. There it is right there, yellow, blue, white. And so I'm going to swap that one up, that one will go there, and that one will go here. Okay, I think I'll still have a couple of wrong ones when I do that. Yeah, okay. So the so it's D prime, counterclockwise turn of the D layer, R, U, R, U prime, R. Now we're going to go D to undo the D prime, R, U, R, U prime, R, and after all of that, that piece is in place. And remember that we move the top layer in order to get access to that. So we still have a couple of pieces wrong here. We still have a couple of wrong here. We'll get them. So the next one I want to do is that one if possible. So this is blue, orange. and there's blue-orange. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen. That one's going to go up. This one will go over here, which is orange-blue. So we'll still have one wrong on the bottom. This happens sometimes. Won't be any big deal. All right, so I'm going to do the process. So it's D prime, R, U, R, U prime, R. Undo that D prime with a D, R, U, R, U prime, R. Okay, put that one in place for us. And now we're actually, I think we're in pretty good shape here. We got one that's wrong on the top, we got two that are wrong on the bottom, and based on the way the puzzle works, this all has to work. This one, orange white indeed is the right one. That one is blue orange, blue orange, indeed that's correct. And then this one is white orange. So indeed, one more application of the algorithm and all three corners will be in place. So it's D prime, R, U, R, U prime, R, D, R, U, R, U prime, R, and voila, puzzle is solved. And that's really it. That's probably about as complicated as it gets. So with that, you'll be able to solve certainly the 5-layer. You might even be able to solve the circle puzzle. And if not, you can leave me a comment on the circle puzzle. I only have this one crazy puzzle, which is all 0 faces, so I don't have any of the planets. But they are a fun little puzzle. I think that they're good for puzzle solvers of all ages. And I think it maybe even be a nice introduction to puzzle solving. So as always, I appreciate your comments, your questions, your suggestions. I read all your comments and I reply to them when I can. So please leave me some feedback. And until next time, thanks for watching.